Hey, welcome to the show, and today I want to talk to you about the differences between the Leica M6 Classic and the Leica M6 TTL. When the Leica M6 came out, it had metering inside the viewfinder, so you would have two arrows that would point towards your exposure. If you were overexposed or you were underexposed, you could see those two arrows. But in the Leica M6 TTL, they made it into three indicators. You had overexposure, you had the right exposure, which was a circle, and then you had the wrong exposure if you were under. So the M6 TTL was a little easier to be able to meter your scene. The M6, when the scene is properly metered, you get both arrows lit. Then to turn off the light meter on the M6 Classic, you have to put the camera on bulb, which is the B. But on the M6 TTL, they made an off signal, so you know that your camera is off. If not, you will drain your batteries. Then the M6 Classic has the normal shutter dial, which turns exactly the same direction as the M2 or the M3 and the M4. And the Leica TTL has a different and bigger knob, which turns the opposite way towards the other classic Leicas turn. So if you are ever going to go from an M6 Classic to an M6 TTL, you're going to have a bit of a hard time getting used to turning the knob the other way around. It is, though, much easier to turn when you turn the speeds, so it is more comfortable, and if you get used to it, the M7 has the same knob, even though when they went back to the MP, they came back to the old classic knob. Because of this knob, the Leica M6 TTL is 2 millimeters taller than the Leica M6 Classic. That's the only big difference in the body, apart from the size of the knob and the fact that it says TTL on the TTL version on the hot shoe. The Leica M6 Classic came with a 0.72 magnification, and later on they came out with a 0.85 magnification, and the Leica TTL came out with a 0.72, then they came out with a 0.85, and then they came out with a 0.58, which is made for wide-angle lenses. And the last difference between these two cameras is that one, the TTL has TTL metering for flash, and the Classic doesn't have that for flash. They both sync at a 50th of a second, so that's the same flash sync. They both load the same, they both meter in the same way except for that metering indicators inside the viewfinder. They both have the same ISO dials, same advance lever, same rewind knob. So basically it's pretty much the same camera. The only difference, as I said, depends on which way you want to turn the knob and if you want to use flash. If you are going to not use flash and you don't mind about the knob, you can get the Classic a little cheaper. And if you're into the bigger knob and you want to use flash on a Leica, you have to use the TTL model if you're using the Leica flash. Or if you use a normal flash like I use, you can use any other Leica like the Classic or the M2 and M3, just plugging it into the PC sync. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.